Before my kids arrived, I swore I would never shout at them. But choosing what kind of a parent you're going to be before your kids are born is like a caterpillar trying to decide what kind of a butterfly they're going to be while they're still building the cocoon. I'll still do loads of charity work, of course, and I'll be dead nice to all the moths, even though they're all going to hate me because I'll be so bloody gorgeous. Theory and reality are like sugar and shit. I've raised my voice to my kids more times than I can count. Often just to shout, "Stop shouting!" Which I'm aware doesn't set a great example. You should never shout at your kids. And that's fine, in theory. Because everything's fine, in theory. The Slim Fast diet is a piece of piss until day 2 when you've had 3 hours sleep and someone offers you a wagon wheel. Of course, I never want to shout at them. I love them more than words can describe. But those you love are also those ones blessed with the innate ability to boil your piss quicker than a Travelodge kettle. In a perfect world, I'd never have to shout at them. Ideally, if there was a problem, we'd all sit down over a fresh chai latte and discuss the issue like grown-ups before returning to each other's fabulous company. But unfortunately, when they're about to slam your iPad in the fridge door, I generally find that loud shrieking works far more effectively than softly spoken explanations. And I do try to explain afterwards, even if my kids' refusal to accept logic makes flat earthers look like Dr. Spock. So despite my best efforts to remain calm and use reason, I've raised my voice to my kids plenty of times. But I've never screamed before until I did. I was tired and grumpy. They were loud and annoying. We were late for the dentist and they didn't grasp the gravity of the situation, which irritated me further. Because kids don't give a shit that you're late. They've got no concept of time. They're like some weird interdimensional species that exist on a different plane from us. To my kids, the phrase "we're late" simply translates as "start dancing." They couldn't give less shits if they'd just given away their last shit in the annual shit-giving competition at the local fete. So the volume of my voice is on the rise. "Come on, we're gonna be late!" My son's reaction was like every other child faced with information they deem unimportant. "Daddy, does this affect me, personally, in this moment?" "No! Come back when you got biscuits." So we're in the bathroom, going through the daily farce of toothbrushing. I'm barking instructions at them like an ineffective spin class instructor while they ignore me and fiddle with the private parts. "We're running really late here, boys." One of them loudly announces that he needs a poo. We're so late by now that I'm tempted to treat this as a hoax. But there's a sense of urgency in his voice that tells me to ignore this would be catastrophic. So I help him climb onto the toilet. And he begins to defecate, both into the commode and all over our ever-dwindling chances of being on time. Almost instantly, the other one decides that he also would like a slice of the poo pie. One of the beautiful things about twins is that the bowel system of one often acts as an early warning system for the other one. But we're a one-toilet household, so I start scrambling around for the potty. It's not in the bathroom. Inexplicably, I remember it's in the garden. So I run downstairs to fetch the potty. But the back door's locked and I can't find the key. He's shouting upstairs that he's going to poo his pants. I feel like I'm on the Crystal Maze. But somehow I manage a little smile at the irony of the fact that I can't open our back door while he's struggling to keep his shut. But then he's crying that "the poo's coming, Daddy! The poo's coming!" So I run back upstairs, fully prepared to hold him over the bath or stick his arse out the window like those dirty Tudor bastards used to do. But then I noticed the back door key on the floor of the bathroom. So I pick it up, leg it back downstairs, unlock the back door, grab the potty, tip an inch of what I hope is rainwater out of it and run back upstairs, all the while shouting, "Hold on, son, Daddy's coming!" I slide the potty across the bathroom floor with inch-perfect precision, like a curling gold medalist who's forgotten his puck. Just as the potty comes to a standstill, my son plonks himself down. It's a beautiful moment. Immediately, he makes a very unusual rasping sound, almost as if his arse is congratulating me on getting there in time. But just as I start to feel a hint of warm parental smugness, I accidentally lock eyes with the one on the toilet. He's squeezing something horrible out and gives me his full poo face. Nobody needs that. So I move my gaze back to my other son on the potty, but he's also mid-dump, and he joins his brother in staring into my soul as he releases his chocolate hostage. I step back, just to avoid the stench, but also to yearn for a simpler time when dental appointments were kept and family members didn't eyeball me while they shat. "Boys, I know you need to do your poos, but we're going to be late." One on the toilet, one on the potty. Tick. Talk. And then, from out of nowhere, the one on the toilet states with supreme confidence that he would very much like to view his brother's poo. His brother refuses, in a move that makes me strangely proud. So the one on the toilet flies into a rage that suggests that he's not only furious, but he's also wounded by his brother's refusal of a private assessment of his fresh jobby. To keep the peace, I'm tempted to tell him to just show your brother your poo, because it'd be a nice thing to do. But it wouldn't, would it? It's a fucking outrageous request, and he's well within his rights to point blank refuse. In the middle of the screaming, they start slapping each other. That's right, they're having a scrap. One on the toilet, one on the potty. Boys, stop it! I managed to break up the bathroom brawl and take a deep breath to try and calm myself down. Then I silently vowed to myself to never take a deep breath in the same room as two defecating infants. And as their time-sapping, semi-violent double shite enters its 5th minute, I decide to run downstairs to get their shoes. One starts repeating that he's finished! But before I can get upstairs, he leaps off the toilet and starts moving sideways across the landing on all fours, like some rare species of shitty-arsed crab. Get back in the bathroom! He's not listening to me, and his brother's giggles from the bathroom are egging him on. Get back in the bathroom, now! And with that, he sits down, his leaking, unwiped, rusty hoop making direct contact with the carpet. And that's when my screaming started. What are you doing? Don't sit there! I told you to get back in the bathroom! Oh God, there's poo everywhere! They're staring at me. Boys, we are so late! And you've been messing about all morning! The dam has burst. Look at this mess! Every petty grievance in my sleep-deprived head is now queuing up to get an airing. You got up far too early this morning, and you don't listen when Daddy's talking to you! But they are listening. They're listening intently because I'm screaming at them. Louder and louder. More words, more noise, more nonsense. They look upset. This is horrible. I take a deep breath to continue me rant, but now they're both staring at me, confused and afraid. The tension suffocates me. Am I the worst dad in the world? And sometimes, just sometimes, the universe gives you exactly what you need. Because at that precise moment, the one still perched on the potty, leaned slightly to his left, glanced at the ceiling, and squeezed out a bottom burp that sounded exactly like the beginning of the 1990s hit song Mambo Number 5. And we all laughed our heads off for ages. When the giggles subsided, we all apologised to each other. Everything was forgotten. Well, almost everything. I'll never forget that lousy feeling in my gut when I screamed. Oh, and that massive shit stain on the carpet that'll probably be there till we move house.